In this class, the topics I am dealing with is the hydroelectric power station, coal-fired steam power station, and nuclear power station. Now, at first, the hydroelectric power station. Now, what is hydroelectric power station? A generating station which utilizes the potential energy of the water at a high level for the generation of electrical energy is known as the hydroelectric power station. The hydroelectric power stations are generally located in hilly area where dam can be built and large water reservoir can be obtained. In a hydroelectric power station, water head is created by constructing a dam across the river or some lakes. From the dam, water is led to water turbine. The water turbine captures the energy in the falling water and changes the hydraulic energy, that is the product of heat of the flow of water, that means the kinetic energy of the water, into the mechanical energy at the turbine shaft. The turbine drives the alternator which convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. Because the turbine and the alternators are coupled with a common shaft, the hydroelectric power stations are becoming very popular because of the reserve of fuels, coal, that means the coal, oil, are depleting day by day. They have some advantages of this plant. First point, this plant requires no fuel as water is used for the generation of electricity. Next advantage, it is quite neat and clean as no smoke and ash is produced in this plant. Next point, it requires very small running charges because the water source of energy is available in free of cost. Next point, it is completely simple in construction and required less maintenance. So number of staffs in this plant is compared to the lower than the other power plant. It does not require a long starting time like steam power station. In fact, such plant can be put into service industries. Next point, it is robust and has longer life. Next point, such plant serves many purposes. In addition to the generation of electrical energy, they also help to irrigation and controlling foods or controlling the floods, etc. Although all such plants require the attend high-skilled persons at the time of construction, yet for operation, a few experienced persons maybe do the job very well. Now, some disadvantages are also present in this power plant, such as first point, it involves high capital investment cost due to the installation time. Next point, the availability of water is not smooth throughout the year. Next, skilled and experienced hands are required to build the plants. Next, it requires high cost of transmission line as the plant is located at hilly area which are quite away from the consumer's end or load's end. Now that is the schematic diagram of hydroelectric power plant, that is reservoir, dam, surge tank, valve house, penstock, and this is the powerhouse. Powerhouse is the combination of turbines and alternator, and that is the tail race. Here, the dam is constructed across a river or lake, and the water from the catchment area collected at the back of the dam to make a reservoir. This portion is the reservoir portion. A dam is basically a barrier where storage water is create the water head. Dams are built of concrete or stones generally, and this channel is called the pressure channel from which the water is flowing through the reservoir to the powerhouse. The catchment area or drainage area is the whole area which collects the rainwater and drain the water into a river or reservoir. The main purpose of reservoir is to store water which may be used to generate electricity for irrigation purposes. The hydroelectric power station needs huge amount of water throughout the day. So, A hydroelectric dam is constructed across the river or lake or an artificial storage reservoir where the water is stored is placed backside of the dam. The reservoir creates the sufficient water heat. A pressure tunnel, that is the pressure tunnel, is placed in between the reservoir and the valve house, and the water is coming from the reservoir to the penstock via the pressure tunnel. An automatic controlling valve is placed inside the valve house. This is the valve house. Inside the valve house, placed inside the valve house, and it control the water flow to the power station as well as the power generation, and later cut off the supply of the water in case of penstock blast. And this channel is called the penstock. Penstock is a huge steel pipe in which the water is taken from the valve house to the turbines. And this is the surge tank, one of the most vital part of the hydroelectric power plant. A surge tank is also provided just before the valve house for better regulation of water pressure in the system. Now the water turbine, this is the turbine. It is not visible in the diagram, but turbine is placed inside the powerhouse, which is coupled with the alternator. Now the water turbine converts the hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy, and an alternator which is coupled with the turbine converts this mechanical energy into the electrical energy. After passing through the turbine, the water is discharged into a tail race. This portion is the tail race, which carries it into a river or for irrigation purposes. That is the overall operation of the hydroelectric power plant. Now there are some advantages and disadvantages I also discussed in previous time. Now the thermal power plant. Thermal power plant is a type of power plant where the coal is the main raw material or fuel. Inside the coal, the energy is the chemical energy. The coal is burnt inside the boiler, where the chemical energy is converted into the heat energy. Then some water is heated inside the boiler and convert the water into the steam. When the steam passing through a channel which is called the superheated steam, then the energy inside the steam is the kinetic energy, and this stream, the flow of steam hits the turbine. Then the turbine rotates. Then the kinetic energy of the steam is converted into mechanical energy inside the turbine, and the turbine is coupled with the alternator. Inside the alternator, the mechanical energy of the turbine is converted into electrical energy, and finally the electricity is connected with the transmission line and then the distribution system. That is the overall network of the thermal power plant. Now selection of site for thermal power plant. There are some requirements for site selection of thermal power plant, like availability of land or reasonably cheap. So huge lands are required for the thermal power plant because there are large number of blocks or large number of sections in thermal power plant like other types of power plants. So land is the vital part of the land selection is the vital part of the thermal power plant. Next, the availability of sufficient amount of good boiler feed water and cooling water for the condenser. That is the vital part. So generally the thermal power plant is situated near the river side. In case of our state, the Kolaghat power plant is placed near to the Rupnarayan river Rupnarayan, and the CSC Bojboj power plant is placed near the Ganges. Now the third point, the availability of fuel and its cost is the main factor, because main fuel is the coal. So this site is basically the nearest portion of the coal mine, or we always follow the better transmission of the fuel. Now the probable scope of the further expansion of the plant. So extra land is required for the adjacent area of the power plant for the further expansion, because load for a particular area is gradually increased day by day. So if we try to if we try to develop another unit, so more lands are required in future times. Next point, the availability of the other power service. So other power backup power service are required in this power plant, because if the power station is failure, then the other backup devices are required to drive the power plant. Next, the huge pollutions are required in this power plant, so this power plant must be away from the urban areas. Next, good transport and availability of cheap laborers. Huge number of laborers are required in this power plant, so the transport and laborers availability is the vital factor for this power plant. And this plant should close to the coal mine, because coal is the main raw material, and the sufficient space for ash handling plant. Ash is the byproduct of this power plant which pollute the atmosphere, so another plant is required in this type of power plant, which is called the ash handling plant. So sufficient space are required for these plants. Now the advantages of steam power plant. The fuel, that is the coal, is quite cheap. That is the main advantage. Next, less initial costs are required in this power plant compared to the other generating station like nuclear power plant and hydroelectric power plant. Because we already discussed about the hydroelectric power plant, the initial investment cost of the hydroelectric power plant is very high, because the creation of dam is not a matter of joke. So high cost is required to design the dam. Next point, it can be installed at any place irrespective of the extension of the coal, and the coal can be transported to the site of the plant by rail or road. So transportation is required in this power plant. It requires less space compared to the hydroelectric power plant. Next point, cost of generation is less than the diesel power plant. These are the advantages. Now, the operation of the thermal coal-fired steam power plant. The operation of the coal-fired steam power plant can be explained by the help of two different types of separate plant. First one is the coal handling plant, where coal is processed for the generation of electrical power. Next is the main power plant, where the electrical power is generated. And third is the ash handling plant. So there are three types of plants in this power plant. So these are the coal handling plant. So in this plant there are some sections, like that is the wagon. The coal is coming from the coal mine through the wagon, and these are the got the vibrating screen where the coal is placed, and the coal is coming from the coal mine, which is the raw material of the power plant, and coal is mixed with some iron particle or some impurities. So the this is the magnetic separator, which is placed near to the vibrating screen, and the vibrating screen is just like a netting system which is connected to the motor, where the coals are vibrated, and then the below 19 millimeter size coal are passing through the knitting system, and if some iron or iron alloy is present inside the coal, then that is attracted by the magnetic separator. Now the coal is placed inside the crusher. Crusher is a particular area where the crushing of the coal is occurs. That means the size of the coal is converted into the large size to the small size by some motoring action of the metal, and this is here the large size coal is converted into small particle of the coal. So this is the small particle of the coal which is passing through a conveyor, and this is the conveyor belt. Here a belt is attached with the motor, and this is called the conveyor motor, and conveyor motor is basically the DC compound motor. And this is the bunker where the coals are placed from the crusher. And finally this is the pulverizer. In pulverizer, after the pulverizer, the coal is called the pulverized coal, that means the coal is in the dust form and the moistures are absorbed in the pulverizer for better operation and regulation. And finally the coal is fed to the boiler system. So this is the boiler. Now there are some so in general the coal is transported to the power station by road or rail, is stored into the coal storage plant. The storage of the coal is primarily a matter of the power plant. From the coal storage plant, the coal is delivered to the coal handling plant. There is a pulverizer. In order to increase the sufficient size of the coal is done inside the pulverizer. Thus, the efficiency of the plant will increase. The pulverized coal is fed to the boiler by a belt or conveyor. So this is the pulverizer and this is the boiler. Here is a conveyor. So that is the coal handling plant. Now this is the block diagram of overall power plant. So coal is coming from the pulverizer to the boiler. And so here this is the condenser in which the hot water or vapor is placed. Inside the conveyor there are some pipelines by which the cooling water are passing from the cooling tower. Here is the cooling tower which is placed near to the river side. So here is a river for the supply of the cooling water. And inside the condenser the vapor is converted into the water. So this is the CE pump, that means the condensate extraction pump. The function of this pump is to collect the water with a certain pressure to supply the low pressure feed water heater, deaerator and the high pressure feed water heater. So these two plant sections, that is low pressure feed water heater, deaerator and the high pressure feed water heaters, are basically the heater where the water is heated gradually. And with the low pressure feed water heater, some water treatment plant is also attached with this plant. And water treatment plant is designed with some materials like multigraded carbon filter, activated carbon filter, softener, iron removal, etc. So the water coming from the low pressure feed water heater is basically the pure water, and when the water is coming to the deaerator, then the pressure of the water is definitely the low due to the distance. So another type of pump which is called the boiler feed pump, which can develop a pressure to the water, and so the water is passing through the economizer. Economizer is the indirectly heated heating device, and water is heated inside the economizer through the flue gas, which is the wastage of this plant. And then the heated water is passing through this path to the boiler drum. Boiler drum is the part of the boiler where the heated water is stored, and that is the boiler chamber where the coals are ignited, and after ignition some flames are developed by which the water is converted into the steam, and this portion is called the superheater. Inside the superheater, the normal steam is converted into superheated steam. The density of the superheated steam is very low, so the rate of flow of the superheated steam is very high. So why superheated steam is used in this plant? Because the efficiency of the plant will increase due to the superheated steam. Because due to the superheated steam, the flow rate of the superheated steam is very high, which is finally controlled by the valve and fed to the turbine. So when the steam is hit the turbine, then the turbine rotates as a motor. Then the kinetic energy of the steam is converted into the mechanical energy inside the turbine, and the turbine is coupled with the alternator. So the alternator is also rotated. Then the mechanical energy is converted into the electrical energy inside the alternator, and the alternator is connected with the bus bar. Here is some transformer where we can get the suitable voltage for the transmission line. So we already know that the transmission voltage is very high voltage. So here step up transformer is used, which is called the power transformer. and then the power is delivered to the transmission line and finally to the distributor's end or consumer's end or load point. So that is the ash handling plant. Ash is the byproduct of the power plant. So ash is not the good product, that is the wasted material, but nowadays ash is used some different types of designing the clay model, brick, etc. So ashes are collected by different area like boiler furnace. From boiler furnace the ash collection is 13%. From economizer, that is 1%. From air preheater 1%. From ESP, that means the electrostatic specificator, where the ash collection is 84%. That is very high. ESP is the vital part of the power system to collect the ash. And finally from the chimney the ash collection is just 1%. And chimney here, by the burning of the fuel, some heated gas is developed, which is called the flue gas, which is passing through the chimney to the atmosphere. And these are the flue gas part. Flue gas has also some advantages. That is definitely the wastage product of the power plant, but they have some advantages because flue gas is generally used to heat the water inside the economizer, and also it also heat the coal inside the pulverizer to develop the moisture free coal. That is the system, and that is the overall steam thermal power plant. So now I will discuss about the nuclear power plant. What is nuclear power plant? An automatic or atomic nuclear power plant is a setup for providing the controlled release the atomic energy to produce the useful electrical energy. This plant is very much similar to the steam power plant, in which the boiler is replaced by the nuclear reactor. That means the function of nuclear reactor in this plant is just similar to the function of the boiler. In a nuclear reactor, the energy is released from the fission of the heavy atoms of nuclear materials like uranium, thorium, etc. The neutrons collide with uranium atoms, splitting them step by step. This split release the neutrons from the uranium that is collide with other atoms, causing a chain reaction. The chain reaction is controlled by the help of the control rod that absorb the neutrons. Then the heat produced in the nuclear reactor by the fusion process, the heated liquid carries the heat to heat exchanger, in which the water is converted into the steam. Generally, the steam strikes the blade of the steam turbine, and this process is just similar to the hydroelectric power plant and thermal power plant. Then the turbine rotates and develops the mechanical energy, and we already know that the turbine is coupled with the generator or alternator, in which the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy.